So I guess I'll kick us off. Thank you to all the superintendents that are joining us today. Commissioner Glass couldn't join us today, so he's asked Tony and I to kind of tag team each other, and we will be collecting information from you of anything that you need from us to continue to try to assist you as you work through your flooding impact. I'm really happy that so many of you are on. First, I guess I want to just do a big cheer because Letcher County, as our final school district, started school yesterday. So I'm really anxious to hear from Denise on how it's going. I'm so happy to be able to report on the county call that all of our school districts are back and in session and trying to get back to senses of normalcy. It is a huge, huge accomplishment, and each of you should pat yourself on the back and pat the backs of all your students and staff that are coming and rejoining you. Just the pictures that we've seen, the happy smiles. Never have us seen kids so excited to come back to school. And so you are all each to be commended and congratulated. And I'm so proud of, on behalf of the department, of the individuals that are sitting in your chairs, because without you sitting in those chairs, I don't know that we would be as far as we are right now. So I want to express our sincere appreciation to all the hard work that you've done to get to this point. Of course, with school starting, that's just the beginning. It's the beginning of the new school year, and you're tackling all those challenges as well. So just a quick thank you, and we'll actually turn to the part of the meeting that we allow each of you to kind of talk to us about where you are, still those needs and concerns that you have, and how we can assist with those. So if I can just, I'll open it up, and maybe I can ask Denise to kind of kick us off and let us know how yesterday went.
Thank you, Robin, and I'd be happy to. Yesterday was an absolutely fabulous day. We had a great first day. We've had a great morning today. Kids and parents were happy to be here, and we did have traffic issues that we suspected because we were putting so many more kids on campuses, but people were patient and helped us work those things out. And so it's been a great start. I've been in classrooms this morning, and I have students who are writing timed short stories and doing prompts for a writing sample and number lines and you name it. And we've got such good things going on already, and just so thankful and so blessed. It's been a great day and a half so far, knock on wood. So we're blessed to be back, and just things are looking good. Things are looking up for sure.
And Superintendent Jans, how is your furniture delivery? I was going to ask for an update on that. I know that lots of places were trying to assist you with furniture delivery. Has that been taken care of, or is there anything that we need to circle back on that?
No, we're in good shape. We have all the furniture that we need right now. We're in a good place where everybody has stepped in, and districts around us have helped and donated and sent loads of things to us so we can have everything that we need to get school started.
And your wastewater management situation, good too?
It is good. They're supposed to be bringing that temporary sewage plant, but they gave us the go ahead because they had done enough repairs that the sewage from our school would get to the plant until they could get the other temporary solution in. So we were given the go ahead, and that's gone fine so far.
That's great. That's great news from Letcher County. Any other superintendents? We'll just kind of let you jump in and share with anything that we can do to assist, challenges you're still experiencing. How can we make it easier?
I see Superintendent Hoover is on. I know you also, it was, gosh, it feels probably like a week already, but did you all went back Monday as well? How are things going there?
Absolutely great. We had the best first day that I've experienced in 28 years. You know, as some of you know, we had some concerned citizens with concrete floors and that. I promise you, the first day of school was just a true celebration, and not one student nor teacher, I think, even knew they were on a concrete floor. It went awesome, absolutely awesome. We've had a really, really good week. Our attendance is down some, concern there. As looks like we've lost about 152 students Not sure how many we would have lost had we not had the flood. So that is a concern, but beyond that, it's going great.
Superintendent Hoover, your 152 students, are those confirmed that they are no longer in your district, or have you located all those 152 students?
Not all of them, but the majority of them, we have confirmed that they have gone to a different district. Yes.
Okay. Superintendent Hoover, I'll also share that we are, KDE is doing our exploratory call and meeting with FEMA today. And so we have the principals from Knott County and Breathitt County here at the Sauer Building meeting with FEMA representatives today. So
Yes.
we're trying to work through that next step to help support the ATCs for both of those communities.
Yes, and I apologize for not being there. As you all know, we had an assessment report this morning that I couldn't miss. So
You all are being pulled in many different directions. We're
Yes.
happy to handle the meeting with FEMA, and we'll pass back to you anything that we learn.
all right, thank you.
Thank
Right,
you.
today is the 22nd, isn't it? I forgot, forgot that was going on today too.
Yep. The busy day.
Superintendent Johnson, did you want to add from Jenkins? How is the my biggest question was, how are preschoolers doing over there in the building?
Everything's going well. We had an open house Friday and I've been here 22 years, record number of people attend open house. We've been looking at our numbers. I think we have 70 new students in the building. It's been a great start. We've had no real issues.
Superintendent Watts, how's it going in Breathitt County?
I apologize for being just a couple minutes late. Going well. Just trying to recover, make improvements. Just working on our schools and lots of phone calls, lots of conversations, a lot of support. So I just appreciate everyone. Just good to see everybody.
It's good to see you too. Superintendent Jett, how's Perry County getting along?
We are plugging right along. It feels like we've been in school for 2 months now. I mean, it really does. And it's going well. We've lost a few students. And you heard me say the last time, the new of the AB Combs building is starting to wear off a little bit. And unfortunately, I knew that would happen. People were really excited initially, but you know, they would love to be in their old building or a new building, and I understand that. And you know, there's going to be some conversations to be had with the board about if and when. You know, Robinson was completely destroyed, so that's going to be probably a 3-year process, best case scenario, to rebuild that facility. And my concern is, how long are those students going to be willing to go to AB Combs while they're waiting on a new school before they transfer to another school and develop friendships and relationships in that new school? And then if we do build the school, how many students are going to be there? That's a big concern I have when you look at allocation and class size and school size. You know, we've got 3 small schools on the south end that we're looking to consolidate. And, you know, we definitely don't want to build a school that's only going to house 150 or 175 students. I mean,
Yes.
so that's a tough conversation that's going to have to be had eventually. And, but other than that, everything's going great. I mean, our kids are glad to be in. Attendance is up and down. You know, there's a lot of COVID in the community, was a couple of weeks ago, so our attendance was down a lot, but cases are starting to drop. This past week, they dropped down significantly. So, you know, just it's tough to get to 93, 94, 95% attendance right now. And I don't know. I think that's going to be the case throughout the year for sure.
I will share just anecdotally, as I talk to superintendents really across the Commonwealth, they are expressing similar things, whether you're in a flood district or a tornado district or just the other districts that are starting school, it seems to be the pattern sort of looks like you start, you get all the people together and you have some illness that happens and you kind of have to ride through that wave. And then it starts settling down a little bit. So I am hearing that from lots of our school districts across the Commonwealth. So I hope each of you has the ability to kind of ride through that wave and it'll level out as you kind of progress during your school year. Superintendent Sizemore?
Everything's going well at Jackson Independent. Attendance has been up this week. Last week, of course, was high attendance week. We really pushed through with that. I think today we're 94%, so we're very happy with that. Jonathan, I just want to tell you last night it was good to see Buckhorn and Jackson City on the soccer field. They did their, I think, I'm sorry, it was Tuesday night. They did their senior night, and it was just good to see both teams out. So commend Buckhorn for getting that team together and having a great season. So everything we're plugging along. Appreciate you asking.
Thank you very much. Other superintendents, I'm looking at my screen. I don't have the full gallery of everyone that's on. Are there other superintendents that would like to share either from the good news that we're hearing across our districts or challenges that you're still facing that maybe we could help with? Superintendent Shepherd, I see you on. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, I just was having a few challenges, but finally was able to connect.
Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to share anything this morning that we can report back to the commissioner?
Robin, Lenny Whalen, Dawson Springs. Just want to jump in here and say, guys, I'm just so ecstatic for you. I know getting back in and getting moving and trying to get some semblance of normalcy is massive. So it's just going to get better and better, and it's just going to be a slow process. I will share with you here in Dawson Springs, here in the last week to 10 days, we've had multiple Habitat for Humanity homes starting to be built. It's hopefully going to house some student families. And those are the kind of things that you're going to see. But it's just, we're 9 months out from the tornado, and this is stuff we're just now starting to see. So, really seeing those things start to happen, it just takes a long time. The cleanup piece takes time, obviously. And then, the other things, the rebuilding part just takes time. And just hang in there and keep plugging. And, you're going to start see things start to pick up. It's a lengthy process, and I'm just so ecstatic for you to be back in school. I know that's great for your staff and for your families and your community, and just all I could say is keep plugging, and it'll happen. It just takes time.
Thank you, Lenny. It's always nice to hear those words of encouragement from you as someone who's kind of walked the same walk and given that light at the end of the tunnel and progress that keeps on happening. It is kind of slow moving. And I think that especially if you're one of the districts that's impacted, you want to see progress happen more quickly. And we all want that for you, but it does take a lot of time and kind of moves at a slow pace. Any other reports out from our school districts? Well, Tony, let me turn it over to you, and you can do a communications update, and then I'll share some additional things from the Office of Finance and Operations and also some things that I'm learning as we work with EMS and FEMA.
Okay, thank you, Robin. So these are just some photos. I appreciate the superintendents, just such great communication with you guys. I really appreciate the relationship there where you all are now just sending photos. I absolutely love the photo of Denise Yantz, and she would never post it herself. But I just think back to the visit that we had in Letcher County, and she just kept saying, I just can't wait to see my kids. I can't wait to hug them. I can't wait to see them. And I'm just so happy. I hope there was a lot of hugging going on yesterday. I know that really, I know that you were looking forward, and that probably just filled your heart. So What an incredible photo. It looks like that was a first day kindergartner too. So I'm sure that was a lot of fun as well. So yeah, so these are just photos that were sent to us yesterday from Letchert County. And there's another slide as well. I love the little girl too. It looks like she was eating breakfast in the classroom. So just great photos. And I just wanted to share that with everyone on the team, since we've all kind of been in this together and sharing successes and stuff with each other's districts. So wanted to do that. Nat County as well, Superintendent Hoover, thank you so much. They did a lot of, what I thought was really neat, they did is on their first day, a couple days, they did a lot of snapshots of their students. This was not County Central High School, and like just kind of, I'm guessing this is like in the morning time. And so there was a lot of pictures of just lots of student faces, which I thought was really, really nice. So lots of smiles that we saw. And then, getting ready to go to class that day. So thank you again for sharing the photos with us. I did want to share with you that Monday night's Kentucky edition with Renee Shaw is going to feature, I guess it's this, she was telling me 60-day mark for the flooding. And so she is going to be sharing kind of some stories of resiliency and grit, and going to be talking. I think she's reached out to a few of you. I know some of you may be able to make that. Some of you are not, but Commissioner Glass will be on that evening programming. It is at 8 p.m. Eastern time on KET. And so we're looking forward to whatever she puts forth on that program. I know she's looking for, she's been following it, and I've been emailing her a lot. And so, yeah, I'm not sure if anybody on this call is going to be on that program, but I think it'll be a good program. So just wanted to put that in your ear and let you know that's coming up next Monday. And we'll be looking forward to seeing that. All right, and I'll toss back to Robin, and she's has some updates from Emergency Management and Office of Finance and Operations.
Thank you, Tony. And I'll just kind of combine these overall. These are things that just reminders of things that are happening right now. If you can keep these at the forefront. We've talked several times about this request from Emergency Management to fill out survey information as it relates to your expenses that you may have incurred during the flood. This is to be able to come up with that 30-day window that the Commonwealth of Kentucky will select in order to seek 100% reimbursement from FEMA. So you should be receiving those surveys from EMS, and we're asking you to assist the Commonwealth as a whole by filling out those surveys with the estimates of your damages. The point of that is they are trying to pick the period of time that the most expenditures were hitting the Commonwealth as a whole and seek reimbursement of 100% of FEMA, by FEMA during that time frame. The other thing, just as a reminder, application periods are open and will be ongoing. There really is no deadline for this. For any assistance you might need from the Kentucky Safe Funds as a result of the special session and that special legislation, there are certain things that you can file and apply for from Kentucky EMS, and there are others from the Kentucky Department of Education. The Department of Education has our application on our website at the state grants page. If you need any assistance in trying to locate that, you can reach out to myself, Robin Morley, or anyone on my staff. I will say there's been a little bit of confusion, and it is confusing. Let me just say that from the start, because there's separate pots of money and you're trying to figure out where I'm supposed to apply for certain things. If you are ready to seek funding, seek assistance from the KDE pot, if you'd like to reach out and talk to either myself, Robin Morley, Che Ritter, any of us, we'd be happy to kind of walk you through what that might look like. We've had one district that has sent in sort of, I'm thinking about sending this in. Can you just kind of talk me through it? And we're happy to do that. One of the things that we will keep in mind is, remember, insurance first, FEMA second, and then these pots are there to assist. So if you are starting to hear from insurance providers that no, they will not cover, fill in the blank, then that would be a good item to put on your request, your application. And then as you start working through your scoping meetings and your exploratory meetings with FEMA, those are the times that you can ask FEMA, hey, I have this expense. Will you likely cover it? You know, those initial meetings, they won't say 100% for sure. But as I indicated, we are in the Sauer building today. We are having our exploratory meeting about the contents and equipment that were in our 2 ATCs that we operate in Knott County and Breathitt County. And we are asking these types of questions. What's the likelihood that FEMA will cover this expense? And the more you know that and can share with us, that will help us to expedite your application for those items that will not be covered either through your insurance or through FEMA. But please don't hesitate to reach out and let us have that conversation with you so that we can help you. If you are also running into fiscal liquidity concerns, that's another area that we'd like you to kind of talk through with us, and we will help you fill out sort of the disclosure form that we've come up with about your fiscal liquidity. We'd like to have that conversation before you start trying to fill in your proof, because we'll ask you to provide certain things to us. But we're happy to have those calls with you as well. From the EMS side, they also ask that we pass along that your communities are starting to form long-term recovery groups. And if you are not already plugged into one of those, that might be something that you'd like to explore. A lot of those deal with more volunteer type activities that can assist you and just individuals in your community. So your county judge executive, your mayor, those are the people that will know more about those long-term recovery groups. But many of them are forming already and are having open meetings in your communities and counties. So they ask that we pass that along to you. One group that might be particularly interested in that is your Friskies. They may be good people that might want to reach out to these long-term recovery groups, again, to help more on those more individualized needs of your students and your staff. As we continue to participate in the county calls, we've gone to a Monday, Wednesday, Friday meeting format, and we are continuing to hear reports about housing, roadway repairs, and stream clearing. Those all seem to be really, really sort of the phase that emergency management is in trying to continue aggressive efforts toward that. New travel trailer sites are being identified by state officials, and they're being reviewed, trying to find, either the purchase or lease of land to have more travel trailer sites. Especially with cold weather not too far away, there is a true sense of urgency that we need to get these folks in temporary housing. And so there is a program, the Travel Trailer Program. If you have families in your community and you'd like to know more about that, you can also reach out to us and we can connect your families with EMS or provide information to you so you can share with your families about EMS and where those travel trailer locations are trying to be stood up. There's still a lot of need out there. And I'm sure you know that better than anyone. As your families are trying to get back to senses of normalcy, there's a lot of need for housing out there. And it is recognized, and they're trying to find those alternate locations so they can set more housing sites up. Finally, Valoria Smith, who is our assigned EMS representative, she may have visited with some of you already on site. She has asked that on any communications that you have with FEMA, that you include her on any emails or correspondence that's going back and forth between you and any FEMA representative that you might receive, and also include her on any site inspection invites. The state EMS very much wants to be there to assist you. They represent the state, they on your behalf. And so she's trying to attend and participate and be aware of as many of those communications as possible. So if you could just kind of, if you don't see her name on something, if you could add her to that communication, and then she'll be involved in that and can assist and advocate on our behalf. Finally, I hope that many of you all are getting your scoping meetings or your exploratory meetings scheduled. I would encourage you that once that happens, for your scoping meeting, it's just very conversational. What happened, how did you experience? What is your loss? It is very conversational and fairly informal. When you get to your exploratory, that's when they're going to start asking you questions about cost. Still don't need to have it refined, but more general about how much things might cost or need to be replaced. I would encourage you to ask as many questions as you have. Like I said, we are going through ours today, and we have tons of questions that we're trying to identify so that we can pass along to you as well. If you have any concerns about being able to collect your data or your information, that exploratory meeting, once you have it, 60 days after that exploratory meeting, you're going to have all your costs incurred identified. So if you need a little more time, try to push out your exploratory meeting date, which will allow you to get a little more advanced time to start collecting information. But once you have that exploratory, they're counting 60 days from that. KDE has been given our deadline for submitting any incurred costs is November 21st.
Sorry about that.
So
I
just want to make you aware of that. So if you need to push that back just a little bit, they'll let you push it just a little bit, and that'll give you a little more breathing room. I think that's all the information I have. I'm happy to answer any questions about applications or process or anything like that we can be of assistance. And I'm sorry I gave you a whole lot in a very short period of time. Anything else? Well, Tony, I know these are very, very busy people.
Yeah.
So do you have anything else before we conclude?
I think our last item that we always ask is, I know next week there's that meeting that many of the superintendents are attending. So we do not have a scheduled huddle for September 29th. And so I just want to open the floor up at this time and just ask you all, when would you like to meet next? Do we need to continue the huddle on? Would you like to check in with us in a couple of weeks? What are your thoughts on that process?
Well, Tony, this is Jonathan. I would say, definitely meet the week after next at the regular time. That will give us a 2-week break, and we'll have the conference, and then after that, maybe look at scaling it back to once every couple of weeks or once every 3 to 4 weeks as people get, more well adjusted, and working through the FEMA process and have a better understanding of that. But I think we definitely need to continue to meet to some extent for the next 4 to 8 weeks, in my opinion. And you guys may not agree, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, let me ask you a question. That looks like that. I just want to make sure. I know that first week of October tends to be a fall break for a lot of folks. I just wanted to double check on that. So that in 2 weeks would be the 6th of October. Is that going to impact folks with fall breaks?
It will for Floyd.
Okay. Are you out that whole week, Anna, or is it just the 6th? Like just a couple of days?
Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
Could we do the Wednesday maybe?
Maybe Wednesday the 5th. Okay, we can look at that as a possibility. Sure. Okay. Yeah, we can look at that. Look at Wednesday the 5th, maybe about the same time. Okay. Yeah, I just looked. I just know that first week tends to be that kind of that fall break moment, even though many of you just got back. I understand how that works. So, all right, we will follow up with you on that. Anna, did you have a question?
No, I was just going to say whatever works for, because I was one of the districts that was not impacted as much as far as schools, certainly. So, if it works for them, certainly focus on the folks that are filling out most of the paperwork and doing most of that and needing the most support.
Okay. Yeah, I think so. What we'll do is we'll tentatively plan to meet on Wednesday, October 5th, tentatively at this time at 11:30 Eastern time. And we will get in touch with you and get a calendar invite for you once we firm that up on our end. So other than that, I will send out the email at the end of the day, like I always do, with the recap and with a copy of the PowerPoint. And we appreciate your time this morning. Thank you very much.